First couple weeks, being outside, getting some good practice.
Well, the first couple of weeks it went really outstanding. When I start comparing it to the last couple of years and what we've been able to accomplish once we get home from Christmas break. So very excited about the weather we've had. It's allowed us to compete outside on a daily basis or whenever we need to. We're getting in lots of scrimmages and seeing some sun, getting some good BP on the field, plenty of ground balls, and so that's a very good start to get ready to play next week. We've obviously been going now since the end of August, and it's a new team, but we've got a lot of kids back as well. We lost a couple kids to the draft, actually one out of high school, and then Damon Jones and Shane Matheny. So we replaced them and moved on and moved some kids around position-wise, but I feel very good about where we're at positionally. We bring back quite a few of our players from last year, and we've got some additions to that group that we think are going to be very good too. And then when you look at our pitching staff, we have some key pieces back. We've reorganized it to see just how good we can be at the front, and with the addition of a couple more high school kids and a couple junior college kids, we've seen some pieces start to come together, and some of it is just being older. We're a senior-led team, senior-dominated team. Probably the most seniors I've ever had on one team as a coach, and so hoping we can reap the rewards of that. Some kids being here for the last 3 years with guys like Scotty Sunich and JJ Hancock, Derek Chapman, kids like that we think can help us.
Questions in the room?
You mentioned the weather. I mean, you haven't had that yet in your tenure here. I mean, what type of effect do you think it's going to have on the team? I mean, you guys usually go down to California or somewhere warm, but
well, it sure ain't going to hurt. I'll promise you that. Being able to actually take ground balls and actually throw it to a hitter outside and track balls, it's been very nice. It would be, I would say, I would compare it to not being able to be outside. Coach Kent working out all fall on half court and not being able to use a full court until he played the first game. It'd be kind of tough to run a full court offense and defense, So having that this year, and it's been, we've definitely reaped the rewards of that.
Just looking at the non-league schedule, you guys go down to Alabama, some Tempe. Do you think some really good competition early on will kind of help you guys prepare for what's usually a pretty rigorous Pac-12 slate?
Yeah, I really believe our schedule is very rigorous. I look at the teams that we were playing early. Nebraska is projected to win the Big Ten, and they return quite a few of their players back. Grand Canyon, who we play that following Tuesday, returns arguably one of the best pitchers on the West Coast. Probably won't see him because he'll be thrown on the weekend, but they are also supposed to win the WAC conference. And then I thought it'd be a good adventure to go out and play somebody in the SEC, very good league, and be able to, when I think about creating a schedule that's competitive, especially early, getting our kids out and having those couple weeks to really get to know each other, to maybe get some extra talks in throughout the day, in building our team and talking about the things that will help us have success. And then when you play an SEC team who goes out and plays everybody else, the SEC is year in, year out, tends to send quite a few teams to regionals. So that'd be good for our kids who go out there and do that play and get going in a 3-game set.
You won 4 straight league series last year, and for a moment you and I were kind of talking like this could get weird if you beat the Beavers and the Cardinal. You had a lot on the table those last 2 series. You said you lost Damon, Friday starter. How does this year's team, a lot of returners you said, how do they compare to last year's team, you think, this year versus last year?
Well, we've got some, we don't have as much youth in the key positions. Andres Alvarez returned at shortstop. We've moved Dylan Plouffe from second base to third base. Shane Matheny, in my opinion, was the best third baseman in the league last year. So that transition from Dylan, moving from second to third, has actually helped him, and it's helped us. He's a better third baseman than he is a second baseman. We've moved Justin Hare in from left field, and he's now playing second base, and been a very nice transition. You can tell the growth that those older kids have made just in 2 years. You know, Justin we put him at shortstop for us a couple years ago, and it didn't go so well. And then we moved him out to left field. It started going pretty good. And then now he's got another year on him where he's really embraced the second base position. We do plan on playing him in left and second to have that option, and that's the luxury we have with Justin because he's such a fine athlete. And then the addition of we have 2 other kids, well actually 3 other kids in the infield that we really like. Mason De La Cruz, who's a freshman, who I feel I could start at shortstop today and be good with it. A very high-end defensive second baseman, probably our best second baseman, but just needs some at-bats. His skill set is very high. Trying to create a very good skill set at the plate. You know, for him to come in here and you know, hit 310 first year, I don't see that. So he's done a very good job of preparing himself as a bunter, a hit and run, competing with 2 strikes, jumping on the pitches he's supposed to. And then I've been very pleased with Jack Smith, big 6'3", 215-pound third baseman of Mercer Island. Jack has continued to get better and better every scrimmage. All he's done since he's got here is just hit. His skill set at third has come along, and we feel good about that. And he's going to get his time somewhere throughout the year. And then the addition of Wyatt Siegel over at first base, I feel very good. You know, James Rudkin started every game for us at first base last year, I think. And James is that type of player. So we're going to be able to have some movement when we need to compete later in the innings and lose nothing. And so I feel very good about that as far as the infield goes. And then returning, you know, Danny Sinatra's a sophomore now. JJ Hancock's a junior. Senior. Blake Clanton's now a senior. Blake had a tremendous fall. We've added Dustin Yates out of SELA, was at Spokane Valley for a year. He's a 6'5", 215-pound corner outfielder and done a very, very nice job. And then we added another catcher, Robbie Teal, and he's, you know, I think Robbie has, between him and Cal, one of them's going to start, and their catch is about as even as possible. So, you know, a lot of good pieces.
How about the rotation?
The rotation is, you know, we have a chance to run out 3 left-handers. With Scott Sunich, we've moved him from the end to a starter. We're going to keep Cody Anderson in that starting role, gave us some very good quality starts last year. And then Isaac Mullins has really come along. Spence has done really a tremendous job with both those kids. And again, I think, you know, when you look at giving kids another year and being in the battles that they were last year, you know, we're very close in a lot of games. Just a pitch here, a hit there, field the ball here, you know, that type of thing. And, you know, we could have, you know, added a couple more series wins there, but Scotty's ready to be a starter. Cody's already been there. And Isaac has shown very well from the fall through the winter. Parker McFadden is now back healthy and doing well. He's had a couple outings this winter already that we've been very...
Closer, starter?
You know, we're
TBD?
Yeah, but I think we're going to try and start him.
Okay.
And then we've got 4 games that first weekend. If we feel like he's ready to go, I think we'll plan on starting Parker in that 4th game.
Is he still clocking in at 99 regularly?
He's not back to 99 yet, but he is one of the goals that, you know, as coaches, and I know Spence as a pitching coach has set out to do is we've got to throw more strikes. We have not done that the last couple of years, and we need to throw more strikes. I don't know how many more strikeouts going to lend to, but it doesn't. We give too many base on balls, hit by pitch, wild pitch the last couple of years, and so I think he feels much better about that. I know I do, and when you talk to our position players, they do too. So when you have that type of trust amongst 35 guys, it'll be better.
Yeah, like AJ Block, tall lefty, started some games last season, but you talk about the walks, and you only had 10. ERA may not have been where you wanted to see, but what have you seen from him in his development? Does he have a chance at starting at all?
Yes, and